Welcome to RFZ BizBox. Today we will talk about inspiring business journeys and deep inside of UAE banking. So today I am with Mr. Mahmood. He is one of the co-founder in RFZ group of companies and a very well experienced in UAE banking. So today we'll ask about Mr. Mahmood to share his life journey and why he chose Dubai his home. You started your career with banking. So what inspired you to be a banker?
I tell you that from childhood, I thought that, counting money and making money was, let's say, it was in my instinct. So that gave me a lot of inspiration that I used to dream about making lots of money when I was studying. So I thought one day I will become a successful businessman with loads of money. So that was the reason behind joining banking, and banking gave me a lots of experience about learning different businesses. So that led me to start this group RFZ, wherein now we are giving advice to a lot of new entrepreneurs how to start business, how to follow a successful path to become a successful entrepreneur.
Yeah, it's very important for the new businesses, especially to know how to enter in UAE. Especially most of them, they fail to open a bank account because they don't know how to deal with the UAE banks.
Yeah.
So you being an expert, so what you will advise them, like, most of the new business owners, they struggle to open a bank account. So what is your advice to them?
Imran, there are three steps which every entrepreneur needs to understand before they come to UAE as entrepreneur to start their business and open a bank account. First, they need to understand there is a corporate profile or a business profile that has to prepare exactly what business an entrepreneur is going to start, because bank want to know what exactly a business is going to do. So it should comprehend a proper business model that what they want to do once the business is going to operational exactly. Yeah. And then the second thing, which is more important, the beneficial owner profile. So which includes their resume, their professional and academic experience, if they do any other business prior coming to UAE, that also be part of their professional profile. Then third important thing is their financial profile. In financial profile, the source of fund must be very clear, because bank need to understand that the beneficial owner's source of fund. So source of fund is very important thing which they need to express to the bank wherever they are going to open the bank account. It can be a bank statement of their existing business, wherever they are doing business, or they are a new entrepreneur, for example, a just new entrepreneur. Potentially he should be employed somewhere, and he thought to start his new business venture. So for a new business, for him, his source of fund should be his bank statement where he was getting paid remuneration as his salary. So the bank need to understand where he was getting money, which gave him the chance to become an entrepreneur and to invest the business. This is very important.
Yeah, so this is very true, and what you are saying, it is making sense. But most of the time, the expats who are coming to Dubai for the new startups, they are saying, why we should share our source of fund, why we should share our bank statements, what it has to do with the UAE. We are a business owner in UK, and this is a new business for us. So just to make them understand that what is the role of source of fund for the UAE banks and the compliance, and why this is more demanding, so what do you think about this, like how you can make them understand?
Very interesting, Imran. Sometime in my career also, we used to struggle to make the clients understand that why it is important for the bank to understand. We need to understand first important thing here. In UAE, more than 150 nationalities, they do business through UAE, because UAE is one of the biggest financial hub for international businesses. So the banks here also have a very comprehensive risk matrix. So once the banks want to acquire new businesses or new business onboarding, they also need this information for them to understand whether the client which we are onboarding having a legitimate source of fund or not. So to make a client understand this thing, there is a very clear thing that we need to say to the customer. Sir, listen, bank here is very clear that if we are onboarding a business, we need to know exactly your source of fund or the money which made you to start your business journey here. So we need to reach to that source. If that source is pretty much clear and you help us understand, means the bank, it will be very easy for the bank to onboard you. If you say that you are not going to share, it will be difficult for the bank, because UAE banking is also compliant all international standards like OFAC, United Nations and other international regulators. So we are compliant to all international regulators. So we need to show that the onboarding as banks, whatsoever we are doing, at any point, if international regulators seek any information, we need to explain that our due diligence and the risk matrix to onboard clients is very clear. So source of fund has to be explained to the client in a very explicit way, so that from the very beginning they understand that this plays a vital role for their onboarding to start a business in UAE.
Yes, very true. And thank you so much for the explanation. The personal profile, the business profile, and the source of fund is very important to follow the due diligence process of the UAE banking compliance.
Yes.
And without these three factors, what you have highlighted here, and thank you so much for making our life easy as well for the clients who are listening, for them to understand that without these three factors, it's not easy to open a bank account. This is one of the criteria from the UAE banking compliance to onboard a client. So we should respect that, and we have to understand that as a business owner, we have to follow the bank criteria and the compliance standards.
Yes.
And also, you know, when you are in another country for a new business, so why the bank has to trust you? Because you have to show that you are capable to do that business.
Exactly.
So with the personal profile, you show that you are an experienced person in that specific business.
Yes.
And with the business profile, they will understand that yes, you are capable to do business. You know ins and outs of the business.
Exactly.
And with the source of fund, they will understand that okay, you know, this guy got a money to start a business. You know, it's not easy to start a business with the money. So it makes clear sense to me that, you know, these three factors are very important, and thank you so much for simplifying this for all of us, and especially for the RFZ clients. Most of the people, like, they think that the UAE is not a safe place for banking, and they feel that, you know, the UAE, like, why they should open an account in UAE where there are many different tax havens. So how do you compare UAE banks with the international banks?
Interesting, Imran. Let me tell you first thing. The investors and the new businesses need to understand one important thing here. UAE is not a tax haven. We have taxes, we have corporation tax, we have VAT, so we are compliant in taxation in all respects. The second thing, the security of the UAE bank. I can assure you that one of the most secured banking hubs, UAE plays on the top. Why? Because most of the banks in the UAE are owned by the government here, and UAE government is the most stable government in the world, and financially, economically, even if you see that, you know, the freedom in terms of social, in terms of economics, in terms of religion, you see a huge influx of investors from all over the world are coming to UAE. So I don't see any challenge on the security side for the UAE banking system, because I've been the part of UAE banking system. So I have not seen any gaps where we are here to compare the UAE banking with any international jurisdiction. as a financial hub or an international banking jurisdiction. UAE, I will find on the top. This is the
no
reason.
doubt.
This is the reason you have seen UAE with the passage of time placing itself and getting trounced with the passage of time, competing with other international financial hubs and the banking hubs on the top. So you see it, and you can see Hong Kong, Singapore, London, New York. You will find UAE also among them on the top.
Yeah.
So on the security wise, I can say that people must feel their deposits, their funds should be secured, because I haven't seen any lapse on the UAE banking system where the new businesses should feel any worry about their funds or about any mismanagement about their deposits in the bank account. This is the most secure jurisdiction I can recommend to all new business entrepreneurs and the startup owners.
There are conventional banks, there are like Islamic banks, and there are digital banks.
Yeah.
So in previously, like there were most of the banks, they were having like multiple branches, maybe hundreds of branches, and now they are minimizing the branches and adding a digital bank system. So let's say the Vio Bank is a new bank, and most of the time we hear from our clients, is it a safe bank? Like they treat Vio like any other digital bank, but they don't know like who is owning the Vio Bank and what is behind Vio Bank and all other digital bank. Since you have been through the journey where the UAE were introducing the digital bank and you were part of that initiative, so please give us insight about digital banking and how you differentiate conventional banks with the Islamic banks.
When the first neobank as a digital bank was launched, we have seen that the idea was really cost effective and also user friendly for the clients as well, plus cost effective for the client side as well. First thing what happened, the banks got big reduction in their spending budgets, right? Shrinking from 50 branches across the UAE, coming to merely 10 or 8 branches across UAE. You can imagine this is a big shrink or reduction in your spending, yearly spending as a bank. Plus, the customer service experience was also very incredible, plus the cost of clients on the bank maintenance. So normally, the cost of the customer was reduced about 50 to 60% monthly maintenance. That time we see that the bank would brought the new idea of new business and startups coming up with the zero balance maintenance. Right? This was a very good idea for new startups to be part of the UAE.
I remember it eased the life of startup businesses because initially the startup business were struggling with the high maintenance balance.
Exactly.
And now after the digital bank, they are like very easy to do business.
Exactly. The new banking concept or a digital banking, first it launched by Mashriq Bank, and then it was followed by the other big banks like Emirates NBD also came with that, like digital onboarding concept. Then you talk about Vio. Vio played a very important role in the digital banking sphere of UAE. And the people, international investors and new to UAE businesses.
It's a big revolution in the banking industry of UAE.
And the new businesses in the UAE, they always compare the Vio Bank with international money institution like Revolut or TransferWise and all. But they forget that there are government behind government institutions, and even the First Abu Dhabi Bank also one of the main shareholder of Vio Bank,
and Etisalat also
this. And not everybody knows this, and they are the governments, you understand. In UAE, wherever the good thing about the UAE, when they see a good idea, they start follow, so that the people and the residents of UAE, they should taste the revolution and innovation. One important thing, Imran, for the businesses, the more important thing is the safety and security. I see and feel the sense of security in UAE. There is no parallel. There is no parallel in the world.
I agree.
UAE is number one. You can leave your home door open. I don't suggest this, but that's a literally for us. I mean, I can tell you that the habits which have developed in us. If we go to a restaurant, we can keep our stuff like our wallet, our phone, our key for the key on the table. We go to the restroom. Easy. Without having any notion that someone will come and steal it and run away.
So we feel safe,
100%.
We feel that this is our place and nobody is going to harm us and nobody is going to take over things.
Yes.
We know that this place is safe and we 100%. trust that.
100%.
And that's why we sleep freely, without any fear. We go out, our families are safe. So that's the great thing about this country.
When I go Europe, when I go Africa, when I go Asia, and I talk with different businesses. More importantly, when I tell that I'm part of a business group in UAE, and our headquarters is based in Dubai, they say, "Oh wow, you live in Dubai." Literally, I feel it, Imran. Even in Europe, people say, "Oh, you live in Dubai. Dignity. You're running business in Dubai." So it's a feel of honor and proud that I choose UAE as my home, and I do business here. This is no doubt. This is nothing less than proud feeling when someone here and they start praising you live in Dubai. It's a very excitement and a peaceful feeling for me that people, they praise Dubai, they praise UAE, that it's a very exciting feeling when we speak with people.
Exactly, you are right. So since this podcast is on the banking, so we'll try to minimize this discussion because this is a long discussion. If we discuss overnight, it will not finish. So let's come back to our topic. Of banking. So one more question, which most of the clients, they are asking me, and most of our staff, they have a pressure from the client side. So I would like to ask you this question, most of the new startups, they fail to get an account in Dubai and they go out to find a cheap solution and they compromise on the cost, they compromise on many other things, and sometimes people misguide them. Since they don't know the process and they misguide them, they don't know what is important to open a bank account. They just set up a company and they think that they will get a bank account. So for them, what is your advice to save them and to make them understand that the few important things has to be followed while setting up a company, especially the active business activity? They have to choose carefully. They have to kind of choose the shareholding structure carefully. They have to appoint a manager, the residency, and all those small things which most of the time the consultants, they don't explain, and they win the client. And at the end of the day, the clients, they struggle. And it's all, I personally feel that in this beautiful place like UAE, once somebody misguide, I feel that this is not right. So what is your advice to all those who are suffering in UAE?
While starting off business license, it has to be taken into the account that this business is not just to set up a company. It has to be an active business with an active bank account.
Exactly,
Right? So the rightful profiling about the business activity, to choose the right activity first. Then when it comes to the ownership structure, as you said, it has to be very clear. the more complex you make the ownership structure, the more due diligence or enhanced due diligence will be asked by the bank. It should be a clear structure.
Yeah, sorry to cut you here, because I want to give a clear message. Once you say there should be a comprehensive structure of the shareholding, so what does it mean? Like, what sort of share structure they have to choose?
The more easy and the comprehensive structure is, we need to have the ultimate beneficial owners very clear. If they are individual, so we have to mention, of course, their share percentage should be mentioned and their profiling should be done accurately. If they are individual, for example, we are setting up a license of a company which is, for example, a marketing agency. So we need to opt an activity which is exactly fit for a marketing agency, okay, plus how many founders? 1, 2. So we have to be very clear from day one. These 2 individuals, we need to know their individual profile, like their professional profile. If they are doing already business, we need to get their professional profile, that what role they are playing in their existing business, right? It is easy for the bank to evaluate them. Right? If someone is running a marketing agency back home and we do a profiling that, you know, he's managing the business development, he's managing the technical part of the agency. So it will be very clear for the bank compliance to understand to go further that they got the rightful experience, they got an existing business. So they will go through their professional profile and right, and then if they have already existing business, right? So we need to ask the existing business proof where the shareholding pattern like share certificate or a license, okay, for the bank, and also latest 6-month bank statement, right? If we ask this, maybe it's also good and essential if we ask them for the latest 3 debits and the credits with high amounts, the supporting documents like invoices and the contracts for the bank to understand, plus their counterparts, like, you know, from where the funds are going to come as a credit to the new business account, right? Those companies' names, their websites, if available, more easy for the bank compliance to understand, and they will do right away, because if they are on the public domain, it's easy for the bank to evaluate and give the answer in the less possible time, right? If they do it in that way, it will be the fastest way for them to onboard with the client. So first important thing, the right profiling of the business, then right profiling of the beneficial owner, clear structure with the beneficial owners. If they are individual, has to be their personal profiling, right? And the third thing is their financial profile. If they are existing business, their existing business proof with the shareholding pattern plus the bank statements. And if you get, you know, 2, 3 debits and the credits with the high amounts coming in and going out with the supporting documents, it will be easy for the banks. I can say you, within a week time, they will get the bank account.
So it's very technical, but sometime, you know, we hear in the market, or like, I don't want to name anybody, but people, they just sell the license and they don't care which person has to be a manager, which one has to be a shareholder, what should be a share percentage of each of the individual. Of course, this will be decided by the client, but sometimes there has to be an advice which can ease their life while opening a bank account. But most of the time, you know, it's been skipped, you know, and because of this, the clients are struggling in the market. So thank you so much for highlighting this. So we have to have a clear structure, we should have a source of fund, and we should have a right activity. And so sometimes, being a banker, you have encountered this most of the time, the people with 1 license and 10 activities, and they don't know what they are doing. If you ask them, you know, what is your real business? They say, we do everything. So they have marketing, they're selling equipment, they're selling gold, they're selling oil. You know, is it real, like in Dubai? Like, is it okay to do this? Or like, what do you think as a banker? Like, you know, it makes sense to do this?
Look, Imran, I don't see one business license should have services gold and diamonds and selling food stuff doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
You know, a rightful business should have a rightful activity in that,
Yeah,
right?
it's against the compliance, you know.
It's against the compliance. I mean, it creates a lot of doubts for them.
Yes.
Like, you know, how a food grain seller can be a gold seller and diamond
He
seller.
can be, but in a different license.
Of course,
you know?
of course.
Yeah.
The more important thing, again, I would like to come on the right advice and the right consultation side.
Yeah.
Why the corporate advisors and the consultants fails? They need to understand the requirement of the client, because in UAE is not like rest of the world. You get one license, you can do anything. No, here the businesses are segmentized.
Yeah.
They have different sectors. So no matter, a businessman can have multiple businesses, very well understood, but they need to opt for the right activities and the right business licenses. It's not that in one license you can do crude oil selling, you can do gold selling, you can do diamond selling. On the other side, you are a foodstuff seller also. No, if you are doing this, do it appropriately in a proper way. Get a license for a foodstuff trading. Make a new division, get a license for gold and diamond trading, which is the rightful activity. This is the right approach.
Yeah.
If you mix all of these things, bank compliance will never believe you, because it doesn't make sense for them.
Yeah.
Because here, it has been segmentized.
Yeah.
So the sector wise, if you do, it will be easy for you to maintain all the divisions, their financial records, and sector-wise, it will be much more easy for you than bringing all these 360-degree angle business activities under one license.
Yes,
Doesn't make any sense. I don't advise this. You know,
sometimes I feel a misconnect in this industry, since I'm an expert and I know like how corporate service works.
Yeah.
And most of the time I feel like there is not right connect. You know, it's not just selling of license. You have to sell a solution, and to sell a solution you should have knowledge about the banking first of all. Because everybody in Dubai, like, they are not here to just to have a company, you know. Without bank account, company is nothing.
It's just a piece of paper.
It's just a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And that's what most of the consultants, they don't understand this. They are just selling, and at the end of the day, they damage the time of the clients. They damage the reputation of the UAE, which, you know, is not fair. You know,
it's not fair.
It's just because to make a small money, you can destroy somebody's business, and I think it's a fault of the client sometime, because most of the time we think client is right, but sometimes it's my personal opinion. You know, I have encountered this. Sometimes the clients are not right. You know, they just go to find a discount, and you know, they lose their time, their year, their efforts, their, you know, everything, just to have a small discount. But they don't try to understand what is right, what is wrong. And at the same time, the consultant, at the same time, they sell something which is unreasonable, and that should not happen. You know, it's giving me pain sometimes. We receive a lot of people in RFZ, and they say, you know, we don't have bank account. I say, why you don't have a bank account? They say, you know, I don't know. Like, I set up this company, the company is there, but I don't have bank account. But when I look at the license, they have like crazy activities. Then I asked them, do you do this? They said, no, it was just free. I thought, okay, let's add this. So this is insane, you know.
It's insane. It's insane.
And also, sometimes they don't know how to profile, because there is no right connect. The consultant, they don't know the compliance of the banking.
Agree.
And just because of this, they don't have knowledge. They can just sell anything, because they have target to sell multiple licenses. They don't know the quality, they know the quantity, and it's not their fault. There is a pressure on them. So whereas, like, you know, in RFC we have a right connect, you know. As you are the co-founder, you are the person with the huge knowledge in the banking.
Not just little knowledge, Imran. The more important thing, if we give a right advice to a people, it give you relief from your mind and heart that, you know, today you are giving a right piece of advice to someone. Because, you know, we always should think and put ourselves in a place of the client. If we are giving a right advice to them, so we we get repeat sales, we get cross referrals. And you see, like, you know, in last 14, 15 years, which I spent, I still got those connections,
Yes.
those who are here in our group. They are getting different services. Some of them, they are doing, you know, their companies with us. They are doing their accounting and auditing through us. They are buying properties now also, you know, that we also starting, we have also started the property division.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
we are doing pretty well.
Yeah.
We are actually giving the confidence and trust. So on our trust, I have seen a loads of people, Imran, when for their investment decision, they ask me, Mahmood, if you say it's a right investment decision, I will honor the word what you will give me. And then it is very important for me and crucial for me to decide it. If I feel that this investment is going to make money, I will give them this advice. Because, you know, in the real estate market here, I see also investors, they come to us, they bought overpriced property as an off plan, and they did an investment on a place where the appreciation is not that high. When I feel it, I literally feel pity, like, you know, why they were advised wrongly. If they were advised right, they should have not turned up to us. They should be with the same investment advisor or a property agency. Why they come to us, we give them right advice, as if it's not their investment, it's our investment. Second, we build trust, and we don't want to break the trust. If we build trust, we don't break it, and we give them right advice. We see repeat sales from them. We see referrals from them. That's very important. And we need to sell right always, you know. No matter, you know, it's not like, you know, a quick sell, or, you know, first time we sell and we forget about client. No, we should sell. If we will make money, we always think for the customer. If we see good for the customer, they will come to us again and again, Imran.
Exactly. You know, this is my personal belief, and I always say to everybody working in RFZ that if you have to succeed in your life, the one thing which you have to follow is that you have to give a right advice.
Exactly.
You know, the sale is not just to push. You have to be fair with the client. You have to know that everything you do, it will come back to you. If you do good, you will have good. You know, if you do bad, you will have bad.
Exactly.
So it's not a short term. You know, you do one sale and that's it. One happy client can give you 10 happy clients.
100%.
And 10 happy clients can give you 100 happy clients.
100%.
So this is a whole chain which somebody has to understand, that to do a fair business, you have to be fair.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you know, you can win for a short time. You can celebrate your success on a big sales, and you can say, wow, I have done well. But then when the client turned back and he say, hey, you have sold me, but, you know, I don't have a solution. So you're not a nice person. So I'll go to XYZ company or RFZ company, and I will tell them to find a solution, and they have solution for me. And this is how you lose the client. You know? So sometimes you make a sale, but it's not your sales. You're damaging yourself. So I personally feel this thing. You know, and since you are also, like, you know, you work in this industry for like 15 years, it's a huge experience. And, you know, it's honored to have you with RFZ, and, you know, we have made this on a ground which is very solid, and it is made of kind of like, you know, a fair concrete wall. And that's where we are, like, the honesty, you know. So we are honest with the staff, we are honest with our people working here, and we are honest with the client. Sometimes the clients, they are wrong, and I tell them, you know, you are wrong. Why? Because I don't want to lose them. If I will be with them, then I am not a good advisor. You know. So from the beginning, this is our way of working, as you know, this is our common ground where we work. So I think that's how most of the companies should work, and we will like that. This sort of competition where we have to work with the knowledge, where we have to compete with the expertise. That's the beauty, you know. If you have to compete with a discount on the price, you know, if you're giving this, we'll reduce this, we'll give 10%. it's not the right way of doing business. And
No.
and then you miss the solutions, and then you start mis-selling.
Yes.
And once you start mis-selling, it destroys the whole industry.
Exactly.
And it's not good for the company and the country and the clients. So that's what my personal feeling.
I agree with you. I give you one very nice and fair example about it. See, we have to understand one thing. When we compare McDonald's with a restaurant like Opa, we need to understand there is no comparison.
Mm-hmm.
So at RFZ, we need to understand that we have people who got experience in the relevant industry. When it comes to corporate services, you set up thousands of clients, right? You give them right business advice with the right activity. Same it goes for me. I set up loads of clients for the business accounts, for setting up their corporate accounts and the private accounts, and gave them investment advice as well, right?
Yeah.
So if you get in your company that right combination. You are from corporate services, I'm from a financial background, from the banking. So that's more important for a business to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right advice on a business setup, right documentation and right due diligence for setting up a bank account.
Yeah.
And ongoing compliance also we support at RFZ. Our clients, if they are struggling to understand because they are new to UAE, we support them on the compliance queries also, to help them to understand correctly the UAE banking system, that how to prepare the supporting documents, how to answer the compliance queries. These are very important things. When we start doing this, the client feel comfortable.
Yeah.
They don't get panic. They don't
Yeah.
get frustrated.
Exactly.
This is very important. We need to keep our clients' ease in our mind. That we keep on top. If you keep this thing on top, you will get, believe me, loads of reference. Because don't forget, every business has a relation with the next business. So don't forget that if you give a good advice to one business and you keep it right, you can expect minimum 3 to 5 referrals from that business.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Right?
Yeah, this is what happen every day.
This is our success. This is what we are discussing.
Yes. Yeah.
People go for a short-term gains. We should not run after short-term gains. We should look beyond limits.
Yeah.
As the saying goes, in the race of quality, there is no finishing line.
Yeah.
So we need to keep improving.
Exactly. There is always new thing to learn every day. We should learn that, and at the same time, we should have a clear intention that we are an advisor.
Yes.
A right advisor, and that's how we make money, with the advice.
Exactly.
So if we start playing with our job, we'll lose everything.
Exactly.
We'll lose our reputation, we'll lose our business, we'll lose everything in our life. So that's how most of the business should practice. And so I think on the banking we cover most of the things.
Yeah.
But I personally feel like there are few startup clients, and most of them, they are new to the business.
Yeah.
They are students.
Yeah.
They don't have the source of fund. And also there are people like they are switching the jobs and they're coming to the businesses. For them also, do you think they need the similar kind of KYC, or for them like there is an ease of doing banking and how they can enter in the banking in UAE? So what is the compliance procedure for them?
For such startups and new to business or new to UAE clients, I would suggest you a few things.
Like students or...
For students, for example, a student finishing university or finishing high school, coming to small business startups. Definitely, at the backup, his parents will be there, right? And I suggest them, don't look for A-rated banks. They should go for the new banks, because low cost on maintenance, no deposits required, monthly average balances, and ease of use such banks like Wave Bank, like
and easy compliance.
And compliance.
And Mahmood, do they need a bank statement since they don't have bank account? So how they can produce a bank statement, how they can produce a source of fund?
For source of fund, it's very easy, Imran. Let's say a student who is a university passed out recently, definitely his parents are supporting him, right?
Yes, yes.
Same.
Or someone is supporting.
Someone is supporting. So, to establish a source of fund, we can ask, your father is supporting, for example, get us a passport copy of your father, and his father is definitely a businessman. Get us,
an employee.
or an employee, or
Yeah.
an employee. If his father is an executive in some company, ask him the salary statement of his
Okay.
father 6 months
Okay.
and a passport copy. So passport
Okay.
copy will give you, of course, he will be having surname as his father, right?
Yeah.
And the bank statement of his father, he should be executive in, some MNCs or some government organization.
Okay.
It will suffice the source of funds as he's just a university pass out graduate. His father is supporting. Here's the source of fund of the father, right? If
Yeah.
the businessman, get a business license copy of the father, business bank statement 6 months, and a passport copy. Easy.
Yeah. And sometime I hear that the clients, they're asking, is it safe to give a bank statement? They don't want to share their data. Is there any automatic exchange system between UAE banks and the international banks?
No.
Do they share data with the governments and all?
No way. It's just, we have to keep one thing in mind. These records and information strictly for the bank's compliance to
It's
review.
very confidential.
It's just for due diligence purpose, right? Because bank need to ascertain the information that they are onboarding a right client or not. So this is strictly for the bank. They just need to arrive at a conclusion that the business model and the source of fund which is being presented to them, is it justified or not?
Okay.
It's just strictly for the
So
bank.
there is no link between the two banks. It's just like a documentary proof of the source of fund.
Yeah.
And just to clear the compliance. So the moment the compliance is clear, they are not going to share this document anywhere.
No.
These are highly confidential, and
Of course.
the banks, they keep it with them.
Of course.
And those will never be shared with any of the authority or the banks.
No.
So-
It's just asked for the due diligence purpose for the bank.
All
For
right.
the bank, because every bank has its own risk appetite.
Yeah.
Right? For that, they have developed a risk matrix. So according to risk matrix, this is very important to arrive at right source of fund. So as I just explained, for the newly passed graduates, sometime we also, there's another category, Imran, we should not forget this, to give the information to our audience. Those who are doing freelance work,
Yeah.
right? We
Yes.
get sometime, startup clients, they say, okay, I'm not employed, I don't have an established business, but I do a freelance work.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm a software programmer, I work for different platforms and they pay me,
Okay.
right? So they sign some sort of digital agreements with some platform. They like their work, maybe web work or maybe
Okay.
different technology work. They sign up with them digitally, right? And they get payouts monthly, quarterly, or every 6 months. But these clients, they get the bank statement because their funds are being created. Let's say, for example, a vlogger
Yes,
from
yes.
YouTube getting from, I don't know, from TikTok, from all the socials. This Meta is a big platform. They are paying also these influencers, social media influencers. So we have a right way of profiling them. First, their profile on the social media, plus their personal bank statement.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
getting from Meta payments, their payouts for the ads whatsoever, their the people, those who like their ads or whatsoever, in whichever way they get paid from Meta or different other advertisement agency for whom they do paid advertisements,
Yeah.
and they get paid in their personal account. So this is more than sufficient for the bank to understand that they are social media influencer. This is their socials profile, and the bank statement states that they are getting paid from these big companies like YouTube, Meta, and some other agencies, those who are asking them to do paid ads. Easy for the bank to understand.
Yeah, perfect. So that's all for the banking. I think there are a lot of more things to discuss. This is very deep industry, and
Yeah.
if we keep going with the discussion, I think it will be a long discussion. But one last thing,
Yeah.
since you are the co-founder of RFZ Group of Companies, and also you have a huge experience of banking. So how do you feel like RFZ is a right place for anybody to start a business? How RFZ is helping for the startup businesses, SMEs, and large enterprises to enter in Dubai, especially on the banking side? Do you think like, do you have a strong team who can help them?
Thank you, Imran. Yes, we have very strong team. Me, myself, we go to ex-bankers, those who are taking specialized care for all the onboarding process and onboarding with the banks. So we do the rightful due diligence before an application to be presented to a bank officially to set up the bank account. So we have a complete mechanism or a due diligence profiling metrics. We ask the same way as the UAE bank asks.
Okay.
So we get the information collected with us. Okay, then we ask them to submit it to we review ourselves. We got a team of professional bankers, which is of course supervised by me and ex-bankers. I know lots of people, my former
your
colleagues.
students.
My students. So I most of the time review myself those applications before it go for a review officially to the bank. So we make sure that right profiling done by our side. There is no chance that it get rejected or it get any awkward situation where we are unable to, or where our client is unable to answer. So all the clients, they should make sure those who come to RFZ, they are going to be taken care of properly in terms of their profiling, the banking wise, be it a startup, be it a small and medium enterprise, be it a large corporate, because in my career, I did loads of, large corporates onboarded also. So I understand due diligence and enhanced due diligence also. So no doubt we are there to support all our clients. They feel comfortable, come to RFZ. So don't get feared that and frightened that, you are not going to be cooperated while onboarding with the bank, and even your ongoing bank accounts and the banking questions. We are there. We got professional teams who are supporting them.
In RFZ, everything is simple and straightforward because we have experts on each and every department. So by setting up the company till the bank account, so each and every department and each and every level has an expert who has an experience. So this is how we make things simple for our clients. So if you have any question on the banking or company incorporation, feel free to contact us. And our website is rfz.ae, and you can go to our website, you can reach us through our social media, and we are always open book. And for any kind of doubt and inquiries, feel free to reach us. Thank you so much for listening us. For any other question related to banking, always we are there to help you. Thank you so much.